Today, we're talking to AJ from the Clean Biz Network YouTube channel, who is an expert at starting and running cleaning businesses with over 18 years of experience. We're going to see how to get started, how much profit you can potentially make with this as a side hustle, and what is needed for you to start making money today from cleaning. So let's jump right into the interview. All right, so now we have AJ, and for our first question, how long have you been in the cleaning business for?
Started in my high school year, right? So my senior year in high school, I graduated in 2006. So 2006 and up until now, right? So 2023 minus 2006, that's how many years.
Oh, wow. So yeah, so you had quite a bit of experience before then, starting your own then.
For sure. Yeah, and I didn't actually get started as an owner until that was probably '09. Yeah, probably about 2009.
Would you recommend people to go that path if they're looking to do this as a business or a side hustle, get experience, then to start their own? Or is it something you could just dive in and, search YouTube videos and learn as you go?
Yeah, so you definitely can start on your own, like from scratch, just start out as a business owner. But of course, it'll be better if you just start out actually cleaning first, get your feet wet. Because honestly, I think most people, especially if they get like some type of coach or something, if they decide to go that route, it'll definitely be easy to catch the business side of things, sending invoices, the basics, right? Getting your basic website set up, getting some business cards and passing them out, getting customers. But the actual knowing how to do cleaning, and understand, I'm talking about commercial cleaning too. Residential might be a little bit different because everybody cleans their house, but commercial cleaning is a little different. Like you got to look at completely different things. You got to look at things in a different way. So I definitely would recommend people getting some in the field experience. And if not that, at the least at the minimum, try to find some type of online course or something on it.
Okay. And then kind of going on, yeah, you were saying commercial cleanings. What's like your typical client? Are these, more homeowners, Airbnb, or commercial, would you say?
Yeah, so commercial, I only focus on me personally. I like office buildings with carpet, right? And I say with carpet because the mopping can tear you up, like physically, it'll put a wear on you. And one of my tricks for keeping employees long term was always, if it's easy for me, it'll be easy for my team. And so I always try to target the easy buildings. We go in there after hours, get in there and get out as fast as possible. You probably won't even break a sweat, honestly, especially if you're not mopping. So those are my typical clients. But as far as commercial cleaning as a whole, is basically anything that's a business that you're paying. Excuse me, that's paying you rather than you're paying. But if it's a business paying you, it's commercial. If it's a person paying you, then that's probably residential. So, but you got pretty much commercial, residential, and then Airbnb. They're separate. I really focus on commercial.
Okay. Would you recommend for a viewer then to kind of pick your niche and then stick with that and really expand in that kind of sector then?
If all right, so if you absolutely broke and you got nothing, let your niche pick you, right? We just marketing to everybody, and somebody
Yeah.
please pick me, right? So because you just want to get it started. But if you get a little savings, or maybe you got a day job, you know, this is a side hustle, then yeah, pick a niche because you can take your time and be a little particular about it. You can go out there exactly what you want.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a great tip. What do you need to start this cleaning business or a side hustle? Is this something I can start today and just pick up supplies, or does it a lot more expensive than that?
Literally, so you literally can start today. You can grab you like some flyers on the business card. You can go on Vistaprint and order some, or you can go on Canva and make some, right, and print them out. But literally get out here, go door to door, walk into a building and say, "Hey, I'm AJ with Clean Business Network. Was wondering, who's in charge of hiring a cleaning company for you guys?" They tell you who's in charge of it. Call them, schedule an appointment with them, see if they'll walk you around the building so you can get a good look at it. Maybe take some measurements to get the square footage. Once you have that information, me personally, I go back home and plug it into my bidding calculator, Clean Business Network, right? That's my mobile app. But if you don't have a bidding calculator, then just go Google or figure out a way to price cleaning in your area. Come up with your price, email them your proposal. On the last page of the proposal, it'll be the actual service agreement. Some people call it a contract, but it's really just a service agreement. Have them sign that. Pick the first day you're going to start cleaning and just start cleaning. So it's pretty straightforward. It's cut and dry, but it's just really more so about actually getting out here and do it. Anybody really can just get up and go do it. Once they tell you the start date to start, there's two ways that you can get started. Either A, get out here, go buy your basic cleaning equipment and go clean it yourself, or B, partner with somebody else that's already in the industry who will subcontract for you. You take a percentage off the top and then let them go out and do it. I don't always recommend that second way, even though it sounds the best, because It's harder to do that if you have absolutely no business experience, absolutely no cleaning experience. It's gonna be very hard to pull that off. But if you got a little business experience, you're pretty good at business in general. You might some general cleaning knowledge, you can pull that off. But I don't always push that way because I know everybody wants to take that easy, passive way. When honestly, everybody probably won't be successful trying to do it that way from day one.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And kind of, yeah, based on the person, I guess, what they're trying to achieve here, whether it's like just a side hustle or they're trying to start a new business.
For sure.
What about, would you say, how much would the actual equipment cost for like the cleaning supplies? Is this, around $100 to get started? Or are we talking real in-depth equipment that, gets real deep clean? What would you recommend for someone getting started?
So for commercial cleaning, I don't recommend using any like your generic dollar store products and stuff. With commercial, I think you got to use commercial grade things that actually come from like a janitorial supply store. So to get everything you need, a backpack vacuum, quality one, by the way, a backpack vacuum, like a rolling trash can to dump all of the small trash cans in. Um, what else? Your microfiber cloths, um, some all-purpose disinfectant spray. I'm trying to think of everything on the list that I would start with: a mop, broom and mop, and a duster. All of that together, somewhere around about a little bit less than $1,000. About I'll say you can get all of that for about 700 to $1,000.
Okay. What about if you're doing residential? Would you recommend still to go with the commercial grade cleaning products, or are you able to, kind of get away with those grocery store bought cleaning products?
So with the residential, a lot of times you can get away with using the customer's product because some people like a certain smell or some people like a certain fragrance. So you can ask. I would start off and asking, would you rather us use your product so that way we won't blah 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 blah, right? Sell it. Okay, like that way we won't cross contaminate, or we'll use scents that you like and nobody's allergic to, all of that type of stuff, right? We won't, trigger your dog or whatever. And then typically they can provide that for you. So that's even one way to get in with, a money saving way to get in. But if you want to, you can use the commercial side product on a residential. That's what I used to do. And the customers seemed to be impressed because they had never seen a backpack vacuum before, right? Or they never seen people be so detailed about the dusting. Because in commercial, dusting horizontal surfaces is real big, right? And getting those cobwebs out the high corners. Residential is more about the bathrooms and the kitchens, right? It's more focus on that type of stuff. So, but I think you can definitely start with the commercial side stuff and still do the residential with it. But if you're just trying to get quick buck, go ahead and use your dollar store products or use their products at the house for residential.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a great tip. So kind of moving on. So why'd you end up picking cleaning as a side hustle compared to all the other side hustles out there?
Yeah, man. Because so, like I said, when I was in high school, this guy Pops had me and my homeboys working for him, and I saw he was a older black guy. He was successful. I saw myself from coming from where I come from. You didn't see people with businesses, especially not black people. So I was like, damn, if he can do that, then I asked him, well, do you have to have a college degree to do that? And he was like, no. I'm like, wait a minute. No college degree. You can be black and you can actually own it. I'm doing it. Right. And it's like, and it's easy to do too. Cleaning it was because I thought like he had so many different types of buildings. And so I was like, yeah, man, I'm definitely, that's what I'm going to do. So that's what really got me into it. And then, and I just took advantage of it. The moment I got a chance or saved up a little tax money or something, I said, I'm investing into it. I just did it and went all in on it.
That's awesome. Yeah. So it sounds like kind of like how you were given experience or the advice in the beginning, one of two paths, start your own or go almost get mentored through someone.
Right.
And it seems like, yeah, you basically got paid to learn. And then from there, used money to start up your own company. So that's an awesome story.
Exactly. Thank you.
Where do you go about it? Yeah, finding your customers. Say, what niche you want to get into, and I want to, start getting customers. How do I, start getting them to reach out to me?
Yeah, so it's two ways. So first thing I would do is not like get completely out of the mindset of getting them to reach out to you, right? Because while that can happen and it will happen over time, chances of it happening from day one are pretty slim to none. So what you want to really do is it's two ways. Either A, get out here, actually three ways. Get out here, go door to door with your flyers and business cards, like I explained earlier. Or B, this is a quicker way, cold call. So what I would do is, like you said, pick your niche, Google it. So get on Google. Maybe you want to do dentist offices only. Google dentist offices near me and get you a spreadsheet, make a list of every name of those dentist offices, put the phone number, leave an area for contact for space to type, right? So when you call each one and just say we spoke to so and so, Denise is our point of contact. She said we can come by Tuesday. Or the next one, we spoke to John. John said they're not interested. But just make a note of it and keep going through it over and over and over till you call every dental office in your area. You run out, start all over again, because by that time you probably be at least 3 months in by calling every dentist office in it. But those are the main two ways: go door to door or cold call over the phone. And the third way would be pay a lead generation service. So if you pay a lead generation service, there's two types of lead generation service. You have ones who will actually set the appointments for you with the decision maker. You show up and just close the deal. Or you got lead generation services, they pretty much provide you with what they call just a lead. And so they get customers actually coming to them, and then they'll send that same lead to you and maybe three other different cleaning companies, and whoever calls them first wins the bid can get the job. My company is a lead generation service as well. We offer the first type of lead. So we just set the appointment for you as exclusive. We send it to only you, and you just got to show up and close the deal. That's the type that I prefer, because you're not scrambling, racing, trying to beat the other companies to that one lead that you pay for. Because even if with those other companies, even if you don't even get a chance to bid on the job, you still got to pay for it because they send it to you. So I definitely recommend try to find one that's actually more of an appointment setting service than just sending you a lead and you competing with other cleaning companies. But those are the three ways: flyers, cold call, or by lead.
Okay, so like the flyers and cold calling is more just about hustle and how much time you want to put in. But what's like a general rule of thumb do you think someone could expect cost-wise to get a lead, say something from your company or a competitor? What's like the industry standard?
Yeah, I think the lowest I've seen for like the leads that are not exclusive that I was talking about in my second example, I think the lowest I've seen those were like $40 each. And then the highest I've seen it for like appointment setting services was $200 each.
Yeah, so it just goes back to, how much time you want to put in. Maybe you have another business going on and it makes a lot more sense to get the leads versus, going door to door, and that could take a lot more time.
Exactly. And that's just to get an appointment versus actually getting a customer. So it's just like, what do you want to sacrifice, your cash or your time? That's all.
Yep. So say now you have a customer, how do you go about bidding for the project and making sure that, you're making money on each project?
Yep. So two ways. I'll get the quick answer out the way first, by bidding software, right? So again, Clean Biz Network, my company, we have a bidding calculator. So you can buy into that and you'll have that price. And you just pretty much plug in your square footage into the calculator to tell you the price. If you don't have access to that, then the simple way I always tell people is estimate how long you think it'll take to clean that job as you eyeballing it, walking through it. Ask yourself how much you will pay somebody else an hourly wage to do it. Double whatever you'll pay somebody else, that's what you charge to the customer. So if you want to pay somebody $15 an hour, charge your customer $30 an hour times however long you think it's going to take to clean, that's what you charge per visit.
Okay. Do you give kind of like a time frame? Say if it's like a single family house, 3-bedroom, 1-bath, do you say anyone from like, oh, this could take 2 to 4 hours, just so, there's not like a hard deadline?
I was definitely answering from a commercial standpoint, but the answer still applies to residential. But now I can add what you just said. If we talk about commercial, absolutely. So if you give them a flat rate in residential, shout out to Carolyn Arilano, because I just interviewed her on my YouTube channel. And she does residential and commercial, but she started mostly with residential. She kind of gave me this tip recently, so I got to give her credit. But she said for our residential, she said, like if we tell them we're expected to take 4 hours and this is your price based on 4 hours, we always let them know if it goes over 4 hours, you have a choice. Either A, you can pay us the additional time to go ahead and finish up, or B, you got what you paid for. Stop right here in the middle of the bathroom. Right? Just stop. I'm sure she'll at least finish out the bathroom, but that's pretty much it. So yes, definitely estimate the time if you're doing houses for sure. Because see, in commercial, we're not charging by the hour. In residential, you kind of charge by the hour, but in commercial, while the bid is based off an hourly rate, it's still a set fee every month. So you just got to make sure you get that estimated time right. And that's why it's really good to use a bidding calculator. So, because most of the time they're more accurate than not when it comes to projecting the time it should take to actually do the job.
Okay. And then for residential, it'd probably be good, to like talk to the owner or whoever's living there ahead of time, being like, hey, there's a hard stop if I'm not clean. Kind of like you just described that situation. So they're not caught off guard, just so, everyone's on the same page.
There you go. Exactly. And definitely have it in your terms of service when you have them sign. If you're going to do the residential, A good rule of thumb is to get that card on file beforehand, just in case, you know what I mean? Because some people will try not to pay you, right? So if you get the card on file, that helps. And but yeah, put it in your terms of service, and like you said, discuss it with them ahead of time so they are prepared for it.
Okay, perfect. And then what would you say? I know there's a lot of different factors on what you could charge for a project, such as, your area, whether it's residential, commercial, but are you able to get like a rough ballpark, say for residential, and then like a standard commercial property then?
Put it this way. So let's just say if you're doing a home and you're charging in my area, Virginia, I'm Virginia and Florida-ish. I'm back and forth. I'm Florida now, but Florida, Virginia, pretty much is lower East Coast, Southeast. Prices are usually the same. So we do about $45 an hour for residential. And if it's like your standard home, let's just say it'll take one person 2 hours to do it, 45 times two, there you go, $90 per visit. So if you're going twice a week, then you're charging what, 180 a month, right? Or not twice a week, I'm sorry. Twice a month. Right, there we go. If you're going twice a month, you charge them 90 a month. There you go. And that'll be your standard. Now, the more you go, the bigger the price, right? So you just pretty much multiply each visit time times how many times you go per month, and that's what you're billing for. But residential, a lot of times you get paid the same day anyway, so you don't have to worry about the monthly price. Commercial, on the other hand, you're billing monthly. So that can be completely different. You can get a customer that's only 1,000 square foot building, take you 30 minutes to do it, and they only want you to come once a month. $150 a month, right? It's like it's nothing. Versus you can get a football stadium, right? You're going 7 days a week, or they need you all day. You're talking about $1 million a month contract. We don't know, so it really is impossible for me to like give a ballpark for commercial. Residential is pretty much what it just depends on how often you're going to be going per week. But I guess the smallest contract would be $90 one time, and then the biggest would be 90 times 7 days a week, I guess. So that's pretty much, I guess, how you can kind of look at that.
Okay. And then for commercial, you were saying you get paid monthly, or do you have like a contract that it's like every month you're cleaning it, or is this like an annual contract that's set that certain times a month you're going to clean this commercial property?
Exactly. So it's an annual contract. We lock them in for 1 year. And then they pay us every month on whatever date is agreed in your contract. I know sometimes we'll do net 15, so we bill them on the first, get paid by the 15th. Sometimes we'll do net 30, bill them on the first, get paid by the 30th. Sometimes it's pay up front. So we bill you today, get paid today, then we'll start cleaning once we get paid. So it all depends on how you write up your service, because it's your company, you can do it your way. Industry standard has always been for, in the past, net 30. Slowly but surely, we've been starting to change that and try to get paid as quick as possible. So the sooner you can bill them, the better.
Okay. And so kind of following off of that, how much you can get paid. One of the big questions I know we're going to get is how much money can you make in a day and in a month with the cleaning business?
Again, it's so loaded, man. I mean, it really like I literally, like I was telling you before, I got a guy up in Chicago. Shout out to Ricky. He has a $14 million cleaning company right now. So $14 million divided by 365 days a year is how much you can make in a day. Um, that's thinking huge, right? He has a whole full-fledged team. Let's just say, all right, let's think smaller. That's all good. No, I don't know if he definitely doesn't do residential. He does, but he does do building services too. So it's not just cleaning. He also eventually added on, hey, we can paint for you. Hey, we can do some pressure washing for you, window washing. So little side things that can go hand in hand with it. But I want to talk to it from a side hustle standpoint too, because I know you talk about a lot of side hustle on your channel. So let's just say it's you, maybe you and a helper. How much could you make in a day? Let's start with houses, because they're the easiest thing for me to do the math with. Let's just say let's say $100 a house for easy math. You do 5 of those a day, you get 500 a day. All right, and do it 5 days a week, and you're making a nice little $2,500 a week, right? So you're doing pretty all right, pretty good for yourself.
Okay, yeah, I think it's definitely pretty obtainable too, and it goes back to how much hustle you want to put into the actual, business. Is it something you're just doing part time, or is it something you want to grow into a $14 million business? So
exactly.
And this is another question I know that we're going to get, but it definitely depends on a lot of factors. Is what's your expenses? But say for someone that's cleaning, residential properties, maybe go back to that example. Person's doing 5 properties a day.
So if they're cleaning it themselves, your only overhead really is gas. All right, gas, the cost of replacing equipment, which a gallon of cleaner, I mean, you're not replacing that every day. So it's like really you don't have any expenses. The only real main expense in the cleaning industry is your actual employees themselves. So let's just say 50% goes to them, 15% goes into the business account for operating expenses. The rest goes to you. That's if you're scaling it and not cleaning yourself. But if you're cleaning yourself, then it's almost all yours, other than gas and every now and then reading up on supplies.
Okay. Yeah, so you're keeping quite a bit of the profits then, or the actual revenue then as profits.
Definitely.
Is there anything you wish you would have known before getting started with the cleaning business?
I wish I would have known everything I know now because if I knew what I know now, I wouldn't have started with a cleaning franchise. So when I first started with my cleaning company, I bought a cleaning franchise. And while it was good for me to get that experience, it was expensive. All right. So I missed out on a lot of money by having to pay them, I think like almost 30% of my revenue every month. And it's like if 50% is going to your overhead, then your employees, if they're taking 30, and then you see what I'm saying? It's like I'm left with almost pennies. So
Yeah.
it's like, and I gotta pay taxes by the way if I'm profitable. So it's just like, yeah, if I could do it all over, I definitely wouldn't have started with a franchise. But again, that's why I did create my company, Clean Business Network, so more people can get the information to not have to go to franchise. So
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, just saving, empowering people to start their own business, and then from there be a lot more profitable. So that makes a lot of sense.
now, and I'll say this caveat too. There is one time I say, fine, go to franchise. I know people, right? They can be fresh out of prison, don't know how to speak a full sentence completely, right? Or they never had an email address. They don't even know how to get on the internet and type a thing in, right? So if you know that you're like way behind society like that, then maybe starting off with a franchise might be best for you because they'll handle all of that stuff for you. But I mean, if you can operate Facebook, I mean, if you can, look up on YouTube and say how to do this whenever you get stuck, you'll be fine. Go independent, go figure it out like all the other entrepreneurs did.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. What about who would you recommend not to try this as a side hustle?
Anybody that doesn't like money. Right? I mean, because it's one of the cheapest startups to get in, low cost, and it's unlimited in terms of how much money you can make. I mean, the buildings are everywhere, the houses are being built every day, apartments are being built every day. I mean, it's recession proof, right? Even when COVID came, like it's one thing to survive a recession, but to turn around and actually survive a pandemic and not only survive it, but thrive in it because people needed more cleaning now, more disinfecting services. So, I mean, I think it's for everybody that wants to be an entrepreneur. You're not sure where to start. I used it and flipped it into a software company, right? You can use it and flip it into something else if you're not passionate about it, or you can use it and flip it into a multi-million-dollar enterprise, billion, whatever. It can be as big as you want. Look up the biggest cleaning companies in this industry, and you'll see those guys in the billions. So anybody, if you're looking for opportunity entrepreneurship, try cleaning.
Okay. And then if you want to get started today, what would be the first 3 steps you would tell someone?
First 3 steps getting started today. Go on YouTube, Google how to start a cleaning business. My video might pop up. I will click that one because it's the best one. And I'm not being biased. I promise it is because it's literally step by step. But if not, click on one of those videos or two, whatever one that gives you the information. That's step number one. Step number two, go do everything, single thing that the person said to do in the video because I don't know about the other videos, but I know in the video that I have, it literally is like, hey, get your LLC. This is where you go get the LLC. B, go get your EIN, right? I'm going step by step everything. So just follow the steps. So that's step two is follow the steps. And then step three, I don't know, do a thank you video to AJ for telling you how to do it. I don't know. Like, that's pretty much it. Honestly, you just go do it. I guess step three maybe would be if you want to get a mentor or find somebody's coaching program or something. Or I got a good one. I got a good one. Because I know I'm anti-coach program too. And that's why I try to always speak like that. Or go to score.org and get your free mentor. That's a government-backed nonprofit organization where they got nothing but entrepreneurs who volunteer to mentor other entrepreneurs. So use score.org as step number three to have somebody to hold your hand along the way.
All right, yeah, I think that's a great tip, and we'll definitely leave a link down below if anyone wants to check that out. But I guess kind of wrapping everything up with this interview, any final tips for anyone who's looking to get started?
Look us up, cleanbiznetwork.com. Look me up, AJ Simmons. I'm pretty approachable. As long as time permits, I try to answer every question I see on my comments or on everywhere. Right. So hit me up. I'll help you as best as I can. And most importantly, if I can't tell you anything else, even if whether you do cleaning, whether you do whatever Kevin tells you to do on his channel, regardless, just do it. Please just do it. Take action. If you don't do anything else, like
Started.
you know what I mean? Just get started. Not the worst that can happen is you just stay where you are, but you already there anyway. So go do something and go level up. It's time to go get it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like a lot of people spend a lot of time analyzing, and you should study a certain thing before you jump in. But there comes a period, like you're saying, where you have to take action, and that's the best learning tool out there, I believe.
100%, Kevin. Thank you.
But yeah, that's everything for our interview. AJ, I want to thank you for taking the time today. We're going to leave links to your channel and to your website down below. So if anyone wants to learn more about the cleaning business and how to get started, and check out all your resources, we'll leave them down below. But AJ, thank you again for spending the time and helping myself and the viewers learn more. So thank you.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. Have a good one.
You too. Take care. Bye.